You can build yourself a home studio for less than $100 and you can record music so awesome with that setup that 99% of people are going to think that you recorded it in a pro studio. A lot of people don't believe me when I say that you can record awesome music for less than $100, but I'm here today to show you that you can and guide you through the setup that I would use. Now, full disclosure, the setup that I currently use today does cost more than $100, but if I was starting over again, I would run with a $100 setup for a lot longer than I did. I got more gear than I needed way sooner than I needed it. Now, how all these prices work out will of course depend on what currency we're talking. I'm a Canadian, so I'm thinking in Canadian dollars, but you might be thinking in US dollars or any other currency. But $100 will get you a setup that will record high quality music if you know how to use it. And if you want a step-by-step guide on how to record your own music, then I've got a free PDF guide in the description. You can check that out and it'll walk you through step by step on how to record your own music. But for now, let's launch into what my $100 home studio setup would look like. I would use my phone. Phones work amazing. Sure, they're not as big as computers and a little more clunky to work with, but they're gonna work just fine to get started. The first song that I made into a music video, I recorded on my phone, and I didn't even do a $100 budget. I did a $0 budget. I took the free headphones that Apple sends with their iPhones, or they used to back in the day. It had a little inline microphone, and I recorded my first song on that setup. You can still find it on YouTube today. You're going to need some software on your phone, and if you have an iPhone, use GarageBand. GarageBand is amazing. If you don't have an iPhone, I'm sorry. We're not going to get into that whole debate, but BandLab Studio is a great option. Honestly, BandLab Studio works on both iPhone and Android, but if you have an Android, pick up BandLab Studio. It's free. They're going to try to get you to sign up and pay a subscription for some extra features, but you don't need those features to get started. So we're going to use our phones, BandLab Studio or GarageBand, and then we're going to need a microphone. I suggest the Blue Yeti microphone. Blue Yeti is amazing. I picked this thing up used. I got it on Facebook Marketplace for, I forget exactly, 60 or 80 bucks or something. So you can pick these up for less than $100 if you hunt around. Now they have models that are over $100 as well, but honestly, anything made in the last 5 years or even 10 years is so good that it doesn't really matter. Sure, if you're in a fancy studio and require a high level of nuance, you're going to be able to hear the difference. But for most of us, just amateur musicians having fun making music, we're not going to be able to tell the difference. So find a cheap Yeti microphone, find one refurbished or used if you can, and there we go. We got us a microphone. You should be able to pick one up for less than $100. So that gives us a little bit of money left to spend on some other gear that we're going to need. One of the things we'll most likely need yet is one of these little dongles. These things let you plug a USB-A port into, this one's a lightning adapter, so into my iPhone, but you can also get these for USB-C as well. So you'll probably need one of these unless your microphone happens to come with USB-C already. But whatever the case, these little dongles enable you to plug a USB microphone into your phone. And then of course you need some headphones. And since we're trying to keep it under $100, we're going with some cheap headphones. These are Sony's. They don't even have a model number on them. All I know is I got them open box on Amazon and they were really cheap. Now, if you're a headphone snob, you're gonna hate these things because they're not amazing. So maybe you wanna blow the budget and get more expensive headphones, and if you want to, go for it, but you don't need to. So you can get cheap headphones and a pretty decent mic, actually. Like, I'm not gonna lie, these Blue Yetis are amazing for the price. And then that little dongle thing that I don't have enough hands to hold, you can plug everything into your phone, you can open up GarageBand or BandLab Mobile, and you can start recording music. Now, the thing that's going to determine whether or not the music you start recording with this cheap setup sounds good or not comes down to two things. And that is whether you know how to use that equipment and how your room sounds. So let's start with how your room sounds. If you have an echoey, bad sounding room, it's gonna sound bad. But here's a secret. You could get a $1,000 microphone and it would still sound bad if your room sounds bad. So don't upgrade your mic if you have a bad sounding room. Work on getting your room sounding better, and that's going to make your cheap microphone sound much better. How do you get your room to sound better? Acoustic treatment. Go drag the mattress off your bed, bring the couch cushions in, and anything soft and thick and dense is going to help immensely. Bare walls, bare ceiling, that's going to cause all these reverberations, which make it sound echoey and tinny and amateurish. So You can use free stuff, or if you want to build your own acoustic panels, you can go to the hardware store, pick up some lumber and some insulation and some fabric. You can assemble your own. It's not that hard to do. But acoustically treating your room is going to be the biggest thing that's going to make your recordings sound more professional. And the second thing, of course, is knowing how to use the microphone. So, don't go an inch away from it. Don't go 10 feet from it. 6 to 12 inches from your microphone. That's going to be a good start. And there's lots of other things that beginners do wrong that we don't have time to get into. If you want some extra tips, though, there's some in the free guide, which walks you through step by step on how to record your own music. And also, the step-by-step guide includes a step-by-step path on how to make your own music video as well. So I'm big into music videos. You can check it out if you're interested. If you want to see how to build a $1,000 studio setup, then watch this video next.